All right, professional badminton stringing certifications. I know, right? I mean, I thought it was just like...
String it, thread it in, and you're good to go. But turns out there are, like, actual ranked certifications. Like, you're leveling up in a game, but for badminton expertise. You ready to deep dive into this with me?
I'm ready when you are. It's always so fascinating to uncover these, like, hidden depths of knowledge in things we often take for granted.
Yeah, for sure. So no more messing around in the backyard for us. Went ahead and pulled up all the info you sent on these certifications. CBS, PBS, MTBS. It's like badminton has its own secret society of string gurus.
Yeah.
What does it all mean?
Well, think of it like a ladder of expertise. The CBS, Certified Badminton Stringer, that's your first step. This is someone who can get your racket strung well for, everyday play, ensuring the tension is even and the job is done right. You'd likely find them at your local sports shop or club.
Okay, so that's our solid foundation. But what about when you want to get serious?
That's where you'd look for a PBS, a professional badminton stringer. They're working with a wider variety of rackets and string types and really understanding how those choices impact a player's game. They're thinking about a player's style, the racket specifications, and using more advanced techniques to create a setup customized for performance.
So I told you I was all about finesse shots and drop shots. A PBS would know exactly what kind of string and tension would help me hit those shots more effectively.
Exactly. They'd be looking at things like string material, natural gut versus synthetic, for example, and how that interacts with your swing and the racket's flexibility. They're fine-tuning the setup to match your game.
Got it. And then at the very top, we have the MTBS, the Master Tour Badminton Stringers. Are these the folks making house calls for Olympic athletes?
That's them, the elite stringing wizards. You'll find them on-site at professional tournaments, making those minute adjustments that can make or break a player's performance on game day. They're dealing with the top players in the world, where even a tiny change in string tension can influence the outcome of a match.
Wow. That's the level of precision I never would have imagined. So it's not just about knowing how to, tie a knot. It's about understanding the science behind every string and how it affects the game.
Precisely. And that's something we can all benefit from, even if we're not competing for a gold medal. But we'll get into that a bit later.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. You mentioned these certifications involve exams. And I have to admit, I'm picturing a pop quiz on shuttlecock aerodynamics.
What exactly goes into proving you're a stringing master?
Well, it's not quite a pop quiz, but there's definitely a theoretical component to these certifications. Remember how we were talking about different string materials and tensions? Well, understanding how those factors interact with the racket and the player's style is crucial.
So it's more than just threading the string through the holes. Tell me more about the, science behind it all.
It's about understanding the physics of the game. For example, the sweet spot on a badminton racket is the area where you get the most power and control. A certified stringer knows that adjusting the string tension can actually change the size and position of the sweet spot.
Wait, seriously, I had no idea the stringing could have such a noticeable effect on how the racket performs.
Absolutely. A higher string tension can give you more power, but it also makes the sweet spot smaller, reducing your margin for error. A lower tension can create a larger sweet spot, giving you more forgiveness on off-center hits, but you might sacrifice some power.
So it's all about finding that balance between power and control. And a certified stringer can help a player fine-tune their setup to match their playing style.
Exactly. And it's not just about the feel of the racket, it's also about protecting your equipment. The source material you sent mentioned something about racket frame integrity. What does that mean? And how does stringing play a role?
Yeah, what is that?
That's another crucial aspect of professional stringing. The racket frame is under a lot of stress during play, especially with those powerful smashes. A poorly strung racket where the tension is uneven or the knots are tied incorrectly can actually damage the frame.
Damage? What are we talking about here?
We're talking about warping, where the frame bends out of shape or even cracks in the frame itself. These things can significantly shorten a racket's lifespan, and in some cases, even make it unusable. A certified stringer knows how to string the racket correctly to distribute the tension evenly, minimizing stress on the frame and ensuring it can withstand the demands of the game.
Okay, you've officially sold me on the importance of proper stringing. But let's shift gears a bit. Who are these certifications really for? I can't imagine everyone needs their badminton racket strung by a, master technician.
You'd be surprised. While having a Master Tour badminton stringer might be overkill for your average backyard game, these certifications actually have implications for players of all levels.
Okay. All right, so walk me through it. Where does this expertise come into play in the real world?
Let's start with the individual player. Say you're a serious hobbyist playing in a local league or club. Having your racket strung by a certified stringer can make a noticeable difference in your game. They can help you find the right string and tension to maximize your power and control, and they'll ensure the job is done correctly to protect your equipment.
So it's an investment in both performance and the longevity of your racket. Makes sense. Who else benefits from this expertise?
Think about sports shops. If their staff includes certified stringers, they can offer customers personalized advice and service. Instead of just selling whatever string is on sale, they can actually assess a player's needs and recommend the best options for their playing style and skill level.
That elevates the whole customer experience. You're not just buying a product, you're getting expert advice tailored to you.
Exactly. And this kind of expertise is especially valuable in training environments. Coaches and training centers need to ensure their students are using properly strung rackets, not only to develop correct technique, but also to prevent injuries that can arise from using poorly strung equipment.
That makes sense. If the racket's fighting against you, you're more likely to compensate with bad form, which can lead to strain or injury.
Precisely. And of course, at the professional level, certified stringers are indispensable. They become part of the athlete's support team, ensuring their rackets are always in peak condition and fine-tuned for the demands of top-level competition.
This has been eye-opening. It's amazing how a seemingly simple thing, like stringing a racket, involves so much specialized knowledge and skill.
It really goes to show you that expertise can be found in the most unexpected places. And often, it's the things we overlook or take for granted that have the most fascinating stories to tell.
Well said. So the next time you see a badminton match, even if it's just a casual game in the park, take a moment to appreciate the hidden world of expertise that goes into every shot, from the string type to the tension to the precise knotting techniques. There's a lot more to this sport than meets the eye. And who knows, maybe this deep dive has inspired you to explore other hidden worlds of expertise that exist all around us. There's always something new to learn.
We're the best stringer worldwide, passion and knowledge side by side.